And now to talk about our module of the week, let's bring in Martin Anderson Klutz, a senior solutions engineer at Acquia and a maintainer of a number of modules of his own. Martin, what do you have for us this week?
Thanks, Nick. This week, we're going to talk about Cloudflare Worker Purge, which allows your site to use the Purge module to do tag-based cache invalidation on Cloudflare using Cloudflare Workers. Now, the module was created in April of 2021 by David W. Barrett. It has a 1.02 version available, which works with Drupal 8, 9, and 10. And it's officially marked as maintenance fixes only, but it has had a couple of releases in recent weeks. It has officially 4 open issues, but actually 2 of them were resolved in recent releases. So really there's only 2 open issues, neither of which are bugs. Now, according to Drupal.org, it's in use by 6 sites currently. And really the way the module works is by doing tag-based cache invalidation on Cloudflare using workers as opposed to the standard Purge API. Reason being that the Purge API can do tag-based cache invalidation, but really requires an enterprise account to be able to do so. And so by using Cloudflare Workers, which are available even on free accounts, it means that you can set very long cache lifetimes for your Drupal site, but still be able to ensure that fresh content is being served as soon as it's published. So I came across the site a couple of years ago when I wanted to start using a CDN with my own site and didn't want to spend any money. And it's been working really well for me for the last 2 years. So I thought it would be interesting to share as just another way that using open source software can help you to save money. So, anybody have experience either with this module or maybe with other solutions of working with Cloudflare and Drupal?
I mean, I've certainly used Cloudflare with Drupal and without it. I've used Cloudflare Workers before, but I'm gonna have to look at this module. I'm curious. Do you have to create the workers yourself and then kind of tie them together, or does it kind of just auto configure them and push up?
So I'll say from my own site, I basically just set up more the Cloudflare connection and then installed this module. It didn't seem like it required a lot of setup, but also possible that there's better ways to configure it than I've been doing it so far. There is also a blog that the module author actually wrote on his own site, and I'll add that in the show notes if anybody wants to do some additional reading there as well.
Yeah, I've used the Purge module and the Acquia Purge module, and for one client we did some stuff with Fastly as the CDN, and we were doing all kinds of fun cache invalidation. I think it was Drupal 7, and it was an experience. Sounds cool.
Yeah, one of the big problems with tag-based caching in Drupal 8 was I personally think kind of revolutionary for the Drupal application. But one of the problems with external caching systems is that they generally rely on path-based caching.
Exactly.
And doing the conversion between when something is a tag in Drupal to find what all those paths are can be really, really problematic. I mean, I think there was one site where if you updated one particular entity type, you would get 5,000 paths. And that's just too many. At that point, you want to do like some sort of like just purge everything. And I definitely have worked on a few projects where it's like you just do the math. Like, okay, if it's more than 2,500 URL or whatever the number is, wherever that threshold is, if it's more than X, just purge everything. dump the purge queue in Drupal, or find some sort of common factor. If you don't want to dump everything, if you have hundreds of thousands of paths, right? But that once you get to that edge case, these types of tools really do make that a lot easier than having to do that custom work.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the tag-based caching in modern versions of Drupal really has been a major step forward, and it's great to see some of these kinds of tools that make it easier to leverage that. Again, not just within Drupal itself, but with some of those, external platforms.
Yeah, it's good to see more support, even if it's a little bit of a workaround. Well, as always, thank you for a great Module of the Week, Martin. See you next week.